Thanks for meeting this afternoon. As we are rounding out another school year, there's just a lot of events and things that are happening not only in our grade level but in the school as well. And so we're just gonna talk about a few things. I sent you all like an agenda of things that we're gonna discuss. And the first thing on here, Mr. McClish sent our end of the year checklist. And so here's the most recent and updated one. And I just thought we could go through it. If there's anything that you notice that you have any wonderings or questions, then maybe we can, you know, make a mark and then we can ask as a grade level to get more clarification on it. Like I know for me, like the first thing I looked at was the Into Reading curriculum for textbooks.
Yeah.
And I think,
Not sure who the Montalongo person is.
yeah, not sure who that is. And then if we need to, here's some post-it notes if we want to make any marks. Into Reading, you said that's the HMH?
Yes, the HMH textbooks.
And I guess the list is coming from this person, so there's not really a list here.
Oh, to have a checklist.
Mhm.
Yeah, I'll write that down. Need a checklist for materials. Sorry, that's okay.
I also, one has always kind of bothered me, but like right here where it says if you are missing books, have replacements or documentation that replacements have been purchased. I don't think that's a little fair.
Yeah,
Uh,
because we all share
Because
them.
we all share them, but also it's like sometimes it's not our fault that they like the students misplace them or whatever it is. But like that's one of the big reasons why I am hesitant to even go to the IB resource room because I'm not willing to repurchase a book that might have been lost or whatever. But that's why I don't ever go to the IB room. So, and that might be something to think about.
yeah, let's highlight that, and then we can get more clarification on.
Especially if the kids are they're the ones who are using them.
Yeah.
And so then I also feel like when, like, let's say if I did borrow the books from the IB resource room, I'm always telling the kids, no, you can't use those. You can't use those. But then the whole point is to let them use it. But then I'm scared that they're going to lose it and I have to pay myself to replace it. So I feel like that needs to be kind of maybe rediscussed or maybe taken out.
Yeah. Take it out, or even like let's talk more about like a better procedure or routine about checking out materials. Yeah. So that they can be used. Because I haven't checked out any all year. Yeah. I know. We'll ask about this one.
And also the completed NIHOUSE resource checklist. I mean, I know there's some things that I didn't even have in the first place. So like, how are they going to go about that?
Okay.
Like if we didn't have it in the first place. Because like some of the charts, I never got any of the posters.
Really?
Yeah. The one with the little, I don't know, there was a person, the WOW poster. I never had that.
I didn't have that either.
Yeah.
Some materials were never given. Okay. I want to say I really appreciate you talking to Ms. Smith about the laptops and allowing us to re-image those ourselves. I think that'll be very helpful for the end of the year. I wonder, when can we pick up the permanent records? Can we pick that up next week, like before Thursday?
No, she usually has a sign-up sheet on her door for the Thursday. Right? No, is it Thursday?
Because you have to
Wednesday.
do it in front of her, like.
But don't we pick up the folders first?
Yeah, but that's also like on a Thursday. Like I feel like a Thursday morning, you pick up your folders, or maybe like Wednesday afternoon, you pick up your folders, put the stickers on, put cards in there, and then she has a time slot for you.
And that's when everybody stands outside her door.
Yes.
Okay.
I don't think I did my score sheets for the fifth cycle.
I need to do the sixth cycle.
Yeah, I don't think I did the 5th. I didn't do the 5th. I did the 6th. I'm gonna write it down.
Okay, running records done. RTI progress monitoring.
I would say like maybe get the stuff from Miss Hauser or even like Miss Sasser if she has anything from when she pulls groups. I would even say their most recent running record could be uploaded into PowerSchool as like documentation. That would be
yeah, that would be good actually to have that.
Yeah.
To PowerSchool? What do you mean?
Like for
the RTI.
The RTI progress monitoring.
Oh, okay.
Like putting
it's because they said to put it in PowerSchool. Remember Miss Guzman had us do that in we were all in the conference room.
Yeah, but I thought that was already uploaded. That was it, right? Or we were supposed to go all the way to the
just
end?
any kind of.
Yeah, I don't. She hasn't really. Yeah, she hasn't really made any.
Yeah, because I only did it up to that point. I didn't put anything else after that because she didn't say. Yeah,
maybe just the final running record.
Okay.
Yeah, just maybe the final running record, or maybe even like their math test scores,
Okay.
like that graph or whatever, that parent sheet.
Oh, the parent sheet, yeah.
Or whatever.
Parent sheet.
Okay, because yeah, I stopped doing the whole sheet that she gave us.
Yeah.
When we met at that time, but she didn't really clarify if we had to do it all the way to the end. But whatever's there is there.
I feel like a lot of this list is for teachers who are leaving the school.
Yeah. Yeah, because like as I was like looking through this checklist, like I'm not
Some
leaving.
of this doesn't apply.
So I just put NA, 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 NA. Like it doesn't apply to me because I'm staying.
Yeah.
So I'm hoping to not have to get so many signatures.
Yeah.
Because I'm gonna just be staying anyway.
Kept in classroom if returning. Is bringing turning to Ms. Kushmo. The Eureka, is it the TEs?
The TEs.
Okay, and then the math manipulatives list for Ms. McNeil. I never got anything from her though. Everything's Eureka or like the school bought it.
Yeah, so like whatever the school.
Yeah.
I remember there was like maybe last year she gave us like a list of like just stuff.
Yeah.
And then we kind of like.
Oh, review it and just put a list.
Yeah.
Okay.
But I don't.
I think and just taped it to the door.
I don't have that list.
I don't either.
I don't have that list.
I don't either.
And then the student booklets, any extra?
I don't have any extras.
Because
I had so many kids, but I don't have any extras.
Yeah, I never sent home like the 60 books.
Oh, so you have a whole class set? You have a whole class set?
For some of them, yeah. And like the end of year ones, I don't because I sent them home, but.
Or save them for next year in the event like we need a backup. We need extra.
Because this year I was like looking for them. I feel like Miss McNeil said that she had organized an area in the library with like extra Eureka books.
Okay.
I'll have to get with her and see where this area of the library is.
Kept in storage closet, but in our closet?
Yeah, I think ours. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Can we keep things like on the bottom shelves down here?
Yeah.
We can. Okay. It's just the top.
Yeah, just the top has to be
cleaned
cleared
off.
off.
Okay. Okay. And then final tasks. Final checkout. Before you leave school. I know Ms. Rodriguez put yellow forms in our boxes about summer contact.
Oh.
Yeah.
Okay.
And then like there were
seen that.
Yeah, so it's on a bright yellow paper.
Okay.
I think she said by next Wednesday or Thursday.
Okay.
To have it turned into her, and it's just like your like cell phone number, personal email, your address, and then there's like a direction on please like write down any specific like
I'm gonna be out of town.
Yeah, like if you're out of the country, like this would or like if you don't want a call, you would prefer email, you can put email preferred. Yeah.
Just text.
Yeah. Text is good.
Text is good. Email.
Yeah.
Oh, this one. Yeah.
Okay. Yeah.
She'll bring that. She'll send it in an email, right?
It's in our box. Yeah, it's on the
Oh,
bright
it's in our
yellow
mailbox.
paper.
Okay.
Yeah. And then I think everything else is pretty standard.
Yeah.
Check out those too. Yeah, everything else is pretty. Everything is the same, right?
Mm-hmm.
Oh, also for like the IB portfolios, it just reminded me, but like for the students who are not returning, I'm gonna send them home like Monday
Okay.
because like I know some kids are not coming back,
Yeah.
and I always forget, and we end up throwing their stuff away because we forgot
Yeah.
to send, and it's so wasteful.
Yeah.
So I'm going to send it home on Monday. We're probably gonna like update portfolios on Monday, and then
Yeah, we are too.
I'm gonna send to home like whoever's not coming back.
Okay.
So
And
they have it.
they sent in that form, right, saying that they weren't coming back because none of mine said they weren't coming back.
Oh, really?
Yeah. Oh, that's a lot.
Yeah. I have 5 right now.
Oh wow. None of mine.
I think I have
said-
about 5. I have about 5.
I think it's 4 or 5. But yeah,
Mm-hmm.
that's gonna make
So I'm gonna do that Monday.
smaller class sizes for next year. For
Well,
third
they'll
grade.
fill it. They'll
They
fill
will.
They'll
it.
fill it.
Yeah,
Yeah.
they'll find some.
Yeah.
I mean, people will come in and register.
Well, I'll email like those people about checklists so that we can, start doing that in the afternoons. And then we mentioned map testing, which we recently just completed. So how do you guys think that went for the end of the year?
I definitely liked testing our own kids. I feel like they
Yeah.
took it more seriously.
Mhm.
They definitely
They
took their time
Yeah.
on this round.
I mean, most of them.
Yeah, most of them did.
Some of them were finishing early, and I was like, that's not good. But it wasn't as much growth as I thought, like at the end. But then, I think like at the beginning or the middle there was some growth, and I think that was probably their point. And then it was just like a few points,
Yeah.
but not that goal that they had at +8. I think that was like,
I mean, it's
too
almost
much.
unattainable.
yeah,
Mm.
it was too much.
At least for like the GT
The
kids.
GT,
The GT kids, like,
Yeah.
it was a little bit unattainable because the GT kids were already scoring at like
Really high.
3rd, 4th, 5th grade high
Mhm.
percentile.
Mm-hmm.
I did see more growth. Like, I think I felt like they showed more growth in math though.
Yeah.
In math,
Yeah, in math and reading, not so
Reading,
much.
yeah.
Yeah,
and I feel
more
like
so in math.
for next year, when we like can plan and reorganize maybe a little bit more of like the Eureka that allows more time
Mhm.
for teaching time, graphing, fractions,
Yeah.
money.
And maybe even adding in our own extra like week of division when we were doing like
For
multiplication
sure.
and stuff. Because like I feel like I maybe just
Touched
touched
on
on it. Yeah.
And
touched
showing
on
them
it.
the symbol, the other symbol, like
Yeah,
because
that
they
one.
they were
It was-
getting that, and it was like
Mhm.
they're like, what is this? What's the
Mhm.
symbol?
So maybe that we could like think about that for like maybe our own like when we return in August, when we do have some time set aside where we can like meet as a team, we can look through like just what we know about teaching Eureka this year, and then looking at the district pacing,
Yeah.
and then making it our own. So maybe
Yeah,
we
I
could do
think
like
we
an
need to
August.
pace it so that the that place value one or the making 10 does not last that long. Like it does not need to last that
Well,
long.
especially because they've had it in first grade now.
Mm-hmm.
Like this year it was one thing because they've never used
it.
Eureka.
Mhm.
Yeah, so I think we might actually see a big difference from the students coming up next year.
Yeah.
So
Because
maybe-
I mean, it'll always spiral, and so even if we have to spiral back, we will have to spiral back to addition and subtraction, regrouping. Like at least we can do that later. Like we'll
Yeah.
have some wiggle room because we'll move other things up. So
Yeah.
just remembering what we did cut short, and then kind of adding that towards the end as well, just to kind of review again.
But and also like because we went into new teaching all the way to the end, and I feel like maybe the last couple weeks
Should be reviewed.
it should be left for review. Because I felt really rushed, really crunched on time, and like I didn't feel like I was able to properly teach.
Yeah, not time,
It was
money,
just
and
surface
fractions.
level
It was
teaching.
too
It
much.
wasn't like
surface level,
nothing in
okay,
depth.
the denominators this, the numerators this, okay.
Right.
And so I felt like even though they did grow in math, they could have grown even more
Yeah.
if we were given the opportunity to go more in depth with our teaching, with the concepts that were rushed.
Yeah. So I think that's something we can look at the beginning of next year, like maybe pacing it out and like reworking how long we're on a certain. Because there was like, I don't remember which module. I think it was like right before winter break with like the books that was like the thickest.
Yeah, we were on that for so long. And I think it was the addition and subtraction strategies, but it was so long. I don't think it needs to be that long. I mean, it is one that we spent like 2 weeks on addition, 2 weeks on subtraction, but I felt like it was like a couple of months with addition and subtraction, and then rushing through.
Okay, and graphing too, because like we did a lot of like, we did pictograph and we did bar graphs,
but in one day, like it was make and interpret in one day.
Yeah, it was really fast. But then I also felt like it was a lot of like I didn't really touch a lot on like those like plot graphs.
Oh yeah.
Whatever.
Oh, the ones with the X's.
Yeah,
that was on there a lot.
Yeah.
A lot.
So I feel like okay, like that was something I was like, okay, I need to like maybe instead of using circles, we should use X's. You know, like so they can kind of relate it. Like instead of because sometimes like okay, let's draw whatever circles and hearts and stars. I mean, let's just use an X. You know, I think that might help, even though it's such a small thing, but like it might help. But also when they were graphing numbers, because like a lot of the times we're graphing like ice cream flavors and like favorite colors, favorite stores, and things like that. But then it was really confusing when they would have to graph like the frequency of numbers of like remember I feel like on IXL they do it too, where like Tommy read 2 books, so you put the X on a 2. Sarah read 2 books, so another X over 2. Jordan read 5 books, so put an X over the 5. Like I tried to get them to do that on IXL because like we didn't really get to get the opportunity to teach it in class because we were focused on like the Eureka stuff.
And because that's what I thought we were supposed to do. Like when we got it at first, I thought we were supposed to follow it like exactly the way it said.
And
or
I think
like,
we are.
Yeah.
But like,
I think we have to supplement some things.
We have to supplement.
I think for like us, it's like, well, this is not really enough.
Or maybe like, kind of jumping off of like Eureka a little bit, but like thinking about next year about rethinking like who does what lesson plans, and maybe that's something that whoever is going to do the math lesson plans, like yes, do like the big chunk of it as like staying on track with Eureka, doing each lesson day after day, but then really focusing more on like actually writing a lesson plan specifically for like that intervention time of like, okay, we're teaching this, but now during like that station time, when I pull a group to the table, I should be teaching these plot graphs. Maybe I could be teaching like introducing like some division, like whatever the Eureka lesson is, how can we supplement it during that 30-minute in like intervention time? So actually writing a detailed lesson plan and not just leave it blank and just assume like, oh, you're doing Xer, and like, oh no, like here's something that you could do. For that
but also
time.
like supplementing Eureka, like for the lesson, instead of just like what's on Eureka.
Mm-hmm.
Like, how can we supplement what's there? Like, instead of just fractions, like naming, those are whole, that's a half, that's
Mm-hmm.
like actually doing the numerator, denominator, because they do use those words on some of their questions.
Yeah.
Um,
But I think
And-
that could help the math scores
mhm.
a lot. Just reimagining what that could look like for our grade level.
Yeah, but also
specifically.
the I know that they do their iExcel map, so
Mhm.
maybe looking at some of what their questions are, what their plans look like,
Mhm.
and then see if we can do small group, especially like with those highs, because they're the ones that we can't really grow. So maybe looking at what their skills look like on map iExcel,
Yeah.
and see if we can like
Yeah.
have some kind of intervention with that.
Mm.
Because I think we miss like opportunities for them because like we're focusing on the ones that just didn't get it.
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it's such a hard balance.
Yeah.
Yeah. It really is.
But I feel like science, like there were some that
Yeah,
really
it was-
that,
mhm.
that did
Mhm.
good, that
Mhm.
grew a lot.
Yeah.
I was kind of surprised about that one.
Mhm.
Yeah.
I think having IXL Science too right here at the end was really
Yeah.
it was really nice.
like helpful. So I hope that we can have it from the beginning,
Mm-hmm.
so that way
Yeah.
we can.
And it'd be nice if they can update it with the math and reading so that we can input the science score as well to do a skill plan for them.
Mhm.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. Instead of just like, oh, here, just do.
Mm-hmm.
I know. Yeah.
Yeah.
That's true.
Like having a skill plan for science. I don't know if they have to pay extra for that. I'm not sure. But I think that would be a good.
Yeah.
But
Because how did we get a skill plan for reading and math? I mean, is it something extra or
I think
is it
it's a
just?
part of it.
um,
Maybe
it?
you can. Like
Yeah.
maybe that's actually something that I'll look at on Monday. Like if I can just input their scores on science
Yeah.
and see if it populates
Yeah.
a skill plan for them. Because that would be nice.
But you know the thing is that I don't even think they knew that we had science. Like Miss McNeil did, she was in charge of iExcel, but she didn't even know that we had science. And so like when you go to the roster, it has M and R
R.
for math and reading, but it doesn't have the S there. So I think that's what affects what we can do
Well,
with it.
I think it was we hadn't finished it. Like we hadn't finished a painting or something.
Oh, okay.
So
So it
that
should
is-
be on there now, maybe. Because if it's on there, then we might be able to do the skill plan.
Well, they,
Hmm.
yeah, I think they finished and paid off the balance or something, and that's why we were able to
Oh, okay.
I don't know.
Okay.
Like for next year, I would just hope we get it from the start.
Yeah.
From the get go, especially since like the map testing, we're being
Mhm.
tested on science, then we
Mhm.
should at least second, third, fourth, and fifth.
Mm-hmm.
First grade doesn't take map testing.
They only map test for
Beginning.
it's either math or reading. It's not both. They only do use
Oh.
map testing for one. It might be math
That's so strange. I wonder
Yeah.
why.
because they're using
Dibbles.
Dibbles for reading.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, that's
okay.
it. Yeah.
Huh.
So that they don't have to test
Mhm.
multiple times.
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
So we won't have a score for them on our sheet.
not for reading math
Yeah.
at least. Mm-mm. So that'll be interesting. The incoming second graders, they wouldn't have had like real experience with the computer and map testing.
No.
Well, they
So-
would have with reading though, right?
Or math.
no, math.
Yeah,
I mean,
with
with math.
Yeah.
Because that's the main thing is just knowing that it's the app going to that. Like,
Mhm.
I think it was so much
Signing in.
easier to sign in this time because
Oh,
they were
yeah.
They
familiar
were
with
familiar with
Mhm.
it.
with it. But
I will say, man, the font on
It's
this
so
map
tiny.
testing is tiny, and I really feel
Yeah.
like that affects their like
Yeah.
testing.
Because they're zooming in and then they're looking.
Well, yeah.
well, no, some of mine didn't
Oh.
know to zoom.
Some
Oh.
of the kids don't zoom,
Yeah.
Oh,
and so I'm betting that they're not really. They're like skimming it because
Mhm.
like
'Cause
it's so
too
small.
right. And they're long passages
They're
and
long
stuff.
passages. So, but
Because
some
I
of them
had
didn't
some, they
zoom.
would zoom in, but they would make it so big that it was really more like playing to like slide it across. And so,
So then
Yeah.
we were doing that too. But some did not zoom, and I'm like, zoom in,
mm,
zoom
Yeah,
I couldn't
I
tell
might
them.
type in a little letter to map testing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Or map testing company, whatever it is.
font is
Your
so
font
tiny.
is tiny.
Mhm.
Like the students are squinting.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's not very student friendly.
It's not because like
Yeah.
ReadWorks is a normal sized font.
Mm-hmm.
You know, like I don't feel
Yeah.
like ReadWorks is super tiny.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I don't know why they have to make it so small.
Yeah. And then with our goal, like I know that's probably the district that came up with it, but MAP has their goal for them. Like at the end, it has like
That's
it
true.
says something like for their individualized goal, what they should have scored for this round,
Mm.
and it said like goal and then theirs, and I'm like that is not this +8. It's you know
Mm.
it just kind of it was different. It wasn't
Yeah.
plus anything for any of them. It was just
Mhm.
kind of different for all of them. Like
I
+5
feel like-
for some, +2 for 5.
I feel like it needs to like I feel like their I think their thing is like making sure that the student has that shows 1 year of growth.
Mm-hmm.
And so 1 year to them I guess equals
15 points.
14.
That's a lot.
Well, it was supposed to be 14. That's what the paper said at the beginning of the year. Remember 14?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So it was supposed to be 7 and that's why we thought it was going to be 7.
Mm-hmm.
But I don't know why
Or
it went
they went
up
up even a
to
point,
8.
Yeah, that was weird.
Because even with science, wasn't it like 5?
Something and then
But you can't go up a year. The thing is like they can't expect them to go up a year when you have them on 6th grade material,
yeah, when they're
and we're doing like it just doesn't make sense. Like
use the map
it's
individualized
yeah.
growth.
Yeah, and that's why I feel like reading didn't show as much growth is because like, well, yeah, like
They're already
what
so
I'm exposing
high.
to them is like
It's
it's
second grade material.
grade.
Mhm.
It's second grade material because I'm a second grade teacher.
Yeah.
Like
And some of them had 6th grade passages and
Yeah.
vocabulary, and I'm like, what is that? That's
Yeah. Do we
I
know
mean, it
is the front office going to print out the parent letters for the MAP test?
they're supposed to.
Okay, because I had a parent ask about that today.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, same.
I'm actually almost tempted to just print it out myself
Mm-hmm.
because it'll be available on Monday.
Yeah.
And you just run a report.
Yeah.
And it has like one page would hold like the reading, math, and then the back science
Mhm.
because I tested one out.
okay.
Yeah.
So it's just one page per kid.
Oh, okay. I don't know where to go for it, but
Yeah.
I'll just kind of play around with it and see.
But that's how I felt about map testing.
Yeah. Yeah. It wasn't bad.
Yeah, it was fine.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I think I did like it better because, this replaced Ren 360. And I think I liked it better than Ren.
Oh really?
Mm-hmm. Just because it was just like being individualized, you got to see like where they were.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I liked it better. Well, today we had our second grade market day. That's like a big end of the year event, and that was a really great turnout from like
Yeah.
parents and
Yes.
I did hear a few comments from teachers saying like, "Oh, we wish we could participate," and so I'm like, "Oh, sorry."
Oh,
They
okay.
still
'cause it
did
was-
though. They came and
Yeah.
bought.
Yeah,
They still came.
yeah.
and
We
bought.
kind of gave them.
Well, I know
we
like
gave a teacher discount.
like I'm
Yeah.
okay like with the teachers coming,
Mhm.
Yeah. It's
but
like
it's
students, yeah.
like having 125 third
Mhm.
graders come like that's too much.
Yeah.
that was,
Especially when we're like using real money.
Real money.
Real money.
Yeah.
Because
And
every one of those dollar bucks, it really counts as a dollar.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I think that was too chaotic, and I actually had to like, I know a fifth grade teacher was asking multiple times like, hey, when can I come or when can I? I was like, sorry,
Yeah.
like I mean we're gonna be using real money, so it's like I don't like there's really no reason for you to come,
Mm.
like
Yeah.
because if there's just not a really good reason. It was already super crowded.
Mm-hmm.
Um,
It was very crowded.
but we know that every year.
Yeah.
Like every
Yeah.
year the parents show up.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Um,
And the hallway's just such an easy place for us to set up for it. And if we want to change it to the multi-purpose room, but even that might be.
It's still
no,
it'll still be
because
crowded.
it would
Yeah.
still be crowded.
Yeah,
and
it
like
And to take the desks
To
that
take the
far
desks
is
that
too
far.
much.
Yeah, the hallway. Yeah.
um,
So is there anything like we would want to change or keep? Like, what did we like about this year? What did we not
I mean,
like?
my kids didn't sit, so because it's only 45 minutes, and also takes up less space. So if
Yeah.
when kids sit
Um,
behind it, it's moving the desk further out in the hall. And so when you're in that hallway and you have students on both sides and they're sitting, it narrows it. So we always have them stand, or had them before in the past stand.
Yeah. I should have
so that
done-
it makes it flow easy.
Yeah, I
easily.
didn't take chairs
Yeah.
out, but I had them really close together, and so the kid was standing in front. I should do it like you and have the student stand,
Beside
put more space in between each desk,
and they sit,
and stand beside it. Yeah, that's a good idea.
Well, that makes sense.
Okay, so
I didn't think about that.
Yeah.
I just thought that they'd be tired standing because they were complaining about wax day, wax
Yeah,
museum.
and that was a little longer though. Like
Yeah.
it was about an hour, but and then extended. You know, like it was
Mhm.
longer because parents wouldn't leave. Same here. Like
Mhm.
it was 45 minutes, but then it extended to like maybe 50 minutes because parents wouldn't leave. So
Yeah.
How do you guys feel about like the time? Because 11 o'clock, they
thought it was-
like I
don't
felt
think
like
it
a
was
lot of
bad.
I felt like it wasn't bad and I liked it.
Yeah.
I
But
felt
the-
rushed going to lunch.
I felt a little rushed going to lunch because like parents wouldn't leave
because they wouldn't leave. That's the
because they
problem.
wouldn't leave.
Like
So
I feel
maybe
like we need
10:30?
something out. Like maybe even that little alarm thing. Like the microphone that goes
Yeah.
that makes it
Mhm.
as an alarm, and then speaking and say
Yeah.
thank you parents for coming, but we need to prepare for lunch, get the students in. So
Mhm.
and,
Well, I
and
think-
also admin needs to come and help with
And I
that.
think a lot of that lingered. Also, were trying to go ahead and take their child with them.
Yeah, so
And
that's
so
the
that's
thing
the other
too.
thing too.
But
Is
they
that-
they're not supposed to take them from there
No.
anyway. So
Yeah.
like they need just like I think in the reminder, like our class dojo message,
Yeah.
just
Mhm.
remind them, don't take them from here. Like go direct to save yourself some time. Go directly to the front if you're going to take them out, because also you lingered and then everyone else lingered and you were there trying to check them out while they're a big line formed because everyone was
Yeah.
taking forever to leave.
Yeah.
So just kind of telling them, giving them a heads up if you're going to leave and take them, make sure to go. I like that they stayed for attendance and then left.
Yeah.
Um,
Yeah. So maybe instead of at 11, maybe push it back to like 10:30,
mm-hmm.
to like 10:30 to 11:30.
Yeah.
But that also depends on the master schedule next year.
Mm-hmm.
Okay,
So we
yeah.
can like think about that whenever we get it.
Yeah, because there was another event happening, right, today?
There was supposed to, but they rescheduled
Oh, they
it to next
rescheduled it?
week.
Okay.
Yeah,
They
fifth
rescheduled
grade
for last
exhibition.
night.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, they
Mhm.
rescheduled theirs.
Oh, perfect. Okay.
I thought the Dragon Dollars worked out well, and I thought the whole cash only option
Mm-hmm.
was well. I mean, raising $1,900. That's gonna
That's a lot.
yeah,
Mhm. And how much were you saying were the buses for field trips?
$250 a bus.
Okay.
So that's $750 for 3 buses. So we
Yeah.
could essentially have like 3 field trips next
Because
year.
one field trip is covered. Like one field trip bus is covered, right?
Yeah, the district.
The
covers
district
it.
will cover
The
one.
district
One
will
field
cover
trip.
one field trip. So
Okay.
we have enough for
Yeah.
2.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then like we can also talk about that at the beginning of the year when we do like open house. I think that needs to be something we tell the parents, like, because parents were like, so where does the money go? What do we do? And so just reminding them that they are really raising money for themselves, but
Mhm.
really for the next grade, because somebody, or the next year's class,
Yeah.
because somebody raised money for your class
Mm,
to go on these field
Yeah,
trips,
okay.
because like just paying it
like pay it forward.
Forward.
Yeah. That's
because
a good
they don't
idea.
realize like, oh, but my kids are benefiting.
Yeah, 'cause
benefiting
that's
from
what
it, but
I've
they
been-
are.
I've been going back and forth about sending my parents an email today saying, thank you so much
Yeah.
for coming. We raised $1,900
But then we're
for.
gonna be like, where
Where is it going?
Yeah.
I wouldn't, but just thank
Yeah.
you for coming. You know,
Yeah.
and I think they
know
like
it's
they
going
know it's
to
going
the
to
school. They know
Yeah.
it's going to the school. So even if it wasn't like going to, let's say, the field trip was going to the paper that we're always out of, or the ink
Yeah.
that we're always running
Yeah.
out of, or
Yeah.
books, or
Mhm.
whatever supplies, tape, chart paper,
Mhm.
whatever. Like it's going to the school, so it's like a good cause. So
Mhm.
Well, and I think if like we can get other grade levels just to see like how much we raised, it could encourage other grade levels to do something similar so that they too can raise money for their.
Mhm.
Because that's the thing too. I don't think we knew we had a second grade budget until we
Yeah.
like
yeah,
knew about like we were like, oh, we're gonna raise money.
yeah.
Right.
So
And I think that would also even help with like the school budget. Like let's say we needed whatever IB supplies that we might need, or
Yeah.
like instead
Have to
of
pay
like
for.
asking the principal like, hey, can we get blah 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 blah.
Out of this fund.
Yeah, like
Yeah.
then we can just get it out of the second grade fund.
Yeah.
Like
Mm-hmm.
Be resourceful.
resort,
Yeah,
especially
and
with next year if
supplementing
there's
that.
going to be a big budget cut.
Mhm.
Yeah,
I don't know.
Yeah.
with everything.
With everything, right?
Yeah.
Exactly.
Well, I think that's really great. I know we did class list revisions recently, so we've taken care of that. But these end of the year checklists are for you to take with you and to use. But if you have any questions between now and next Wednesday, I'm happy to answer any end of the year
Awesome.
questions. So thank you again, and have a great weekend.
Thank you.